It's because of what? It's because of what? I don't know. It's because of what? It's because of what? I don't know. Just kidding. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my video. Today is Tuesday, the 15th of June 2021. My name is Dan Kita from Thailand. In this video, I like to talk about the true Dhamma or Nirvana for only people who have the most wisdom. If you are a real person who want to attain Nirvana in this life, you have to listen to me early, because I have attained Nirvana for 19 years. I'm ready to help everyone on this earth to attain Nirvana in this life as well. I'm ready. But are you ready? It's up to you. And the topic to speak in this video, let's take a look. Breathing naturally without using the language for thinking. Wow. Follow me. Hey man, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Can you understand me? Let me explain. The true Dhamma in Buddhism, we study only the subject of the mind. We did not study about the human existence, because our true self doesn't really exist. Every story I convey in the video, I want you to understand about the first idea of thought process. I want you to understand about the thought process, because the first ideas or thought process is universal truth. Universal truth. The universal truth means universal truth. The word universal truth is just a fictional language that for understanding each other in this video. Can you understand me? Universal truth means universal truth. In this video, I want you to understand about the first idea or thought process, because the thought process are natural. The thought processes are natural. The thought process is universal truth. The thought process is the heart of quenching of false suffering. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video, and consider along as I said over and over again, until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain our Nirvana life. In this video, I want you to understand about the first idea or thought process. The topic to speak in this video, I say, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Hey, have you ever heard someone say like me before? The following story I will say is not ridiculous, but it's very difficult to understand, or hardly impossible to understand. Or you don't want to understand it because you have never heard someone say like me before. So first of all, you must open your mind to listen with intent to listen, and try to understand every story I convey in the video. Can you understand me? When you listen to me, you must consider along as I said over and over again until it goes deep into your heart. Then you will understand it, and finally you will have opportunity to attain Nirvana this life. Dhamma, the true Dhamma in Buddhism is not possible to teach each other because there's nothing to teach. Can you understand me? As I told you, the true Dhamma in Buddhism cannot teach each other because there's nothing to teach. This is the reason that I have to borrow the fictional language to create content and story to talk to you first and it's about the various ideas or thought processes. Can you understand me? The various idea or thought process is the universal truth. What you see over here now, you see in the way you see and you hear. In the way you hear, it doesn't mean anything, it's not mean anything. As I told you, the topic to speak in this video, I say, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Why? Why do you say that? As soon as you see this, as soon as you see, what you see over here now, around you in this video, what you see around you, and what you hear. I don't know the meow 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 meow. What you see over here now, you see in the way you see, you hear in the way you hear, without using the fictional language to say, now I see a man who is standing, I see a man who is walking. No, not at all. You have never used the language, said to yourself, now I see a man, now I see a man who is playing a guitar. You see in the way you see, and you hear in the way you hear. But you were taught to believe this is a man who is playing a guitar. But in reality, what you see now, what you hear now, you see in the way you see, and you hear in the way you hear. It doesn't mean anything. This is true Dhamma in Buddhism. This is universal truth. The universal truth, it doesn't have the fictional language to say. It doesn't have the fictional language to describe because it's natural. Can you stand me? Topic to speak in this video, I say, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Why they say that? You know. The thought processes are on duty to think naturally all the time, which have never stopped. I say, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. As soon as you see this, you see in the way you see, and as soon as you hear, meow, 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 you hear it the way you hear. This is the true Dhamma in Buddhism. It's not about meditation, not about letting go, it's not about anything, it's not about miracle. Can you understand me? In this video, I want you to understand about the various ideas or thought processes. We think topic to speak in this video, I say, we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Let me explain. Even we are in this gesture and don't move like this and don't do anything like this. Even we are in this gesture, the thought process. Hey man, hey man, you know, even we are in this church, even we are in this church, and don't move, and don't do anything, don't do anything. Hey man, you know, but, for me, the thought processes are all duty to think naturally all the time, which have never stopped. Hey man, have you ever heard someone say like me before? It's because of what I don't know. It's, it's because of what I don't know. You know, even we are in this church and don't move and don't do anything. Don't do anything. But the thought processes are on duty to think naturally all the time, which have never stopped. This is true Dhamma in Buddhism. Can you realize your thought? As soon as you see this, as soon as you hear, can you realize what you see or hear now? It doesn't have the fictional language to say, but you were taught to believe. This is a cat. This is a goat. This is a bottle of water. As I told you, what you see or hear now around you in this video, wow, quack, quack, meow, 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 ba, ba, meow, 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 meow. This is true Dhamma in Buddhism to end the false suffering. Have you ever heard someone say like me before? No. Not at all. I'm only one person on this earth who talk about this story. Can you stand me? No, not at all. The thought processes are on duty to think naturally all the time, which have never stopped. As I told you, even, but you cannot realize your thought. While you are doing something in everyday life, for example, when you do it like this, you have never used the language said. You have never used the language. You never use the language. Say to yourself, I want to move this chair from here to there, or from here to there. But you do it naturally. You do it naturally without use the language. Say to ourselves, I move the chair from here to there. I play a guitar. You do it naturally. Can you stand me? From birth to death, we have never used the language said to ourselves. We want to walk. We want to stop. We want to play a guitar. We want to move. We want to do something. No, not at all. From birth to death, we have never used the language said to ourselves. When we move or do something in everyday life, it's natural. The thought process is universal truth. You know, we see and hear naturally. We see and hear naturally, but you cannot realize your thought. Now, you see and hear naturally without using the language to say. You see and hear in the way you see. This is true Dharma in Buddhism. The story in this talk I want you to understand about the frailest idea was said. The topic to speak in this video, I say. Topic to speak in this video, I say. We think naturally without using the language for thinking. You know, when we think, we have never used the language for thinking. For example, we have never used the language say to ourselves, I have to think according to the language. I have to think according to the meaning of the language. This is guitar, this is a chair, this is a cat, this is a goat. Can you understand me? When you think, you have never used the language. When you think, you have never used the language, say to yourself, I have to think according to the meaning of language. This is a guitar, this is a cat, this is a bottle of water, this is a goat. Oh, I say this, that is something. I say this, that is something. When we think from birth to death, we have never used the language says to ourselves. We have never used the language says to ourselves. We have to think according to the meaning of language. What we see now is a guitar, it's a chair, but because thinking is natural, the thought process, I show you the thought process from birth to death. The thought process are on duty to think naturally all the time, which have never stopped it. The story in this talk I want you to understand about the first idea of thought process. The thought process cannot be stopped because it's natural, because it's universal truth. The true Dhamma in Buddhism, we study only the subject of the mind. We did not study about the human existence. Now, universal truth, the true Dhamma in Buddhism is universal truth. The first idea of thought process is universal truth. If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. In this talk, I say we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Can you understand me? When we think, we have never used the language say to ourselves, now I think according to the meaning of the language. This is a guitar, this is a cat. Can you realize your thought when you think from birth to death? We have never think according to the meaning of the fictional language. I say this, that is something. You may accuse me I'm crazy. No, they're all because you have never heard someone say like me before. I'm only one man on this earth who can talk about this story from birth to death. When we think, we have never used the language say to ourselves. We think naturally all the time. What you see now, you see in the way you see and you hear meow, 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 meow. The true Dhamma in Buddhism is right. What you see or hear now from birth to death is natural. Can you understand me? If you want to overcome anger, overcome suffering, overcome depression and anxiety, you must try to understand every story I convey in the video. The story in this talk, the topic to speak, I say we think naturally without using the language for thinking. Can you understand me? When we think naturally. When we think naturally. The thinking naturally is the thought process. The thought process cannot be stopped because it's natural all the time from birth to death. And the thought process is the universal truth. Can you understand me? But you cannot realize your thoughts when you think. You have never used the language. Say to yourself, now I think according to the language, I think according to the meaning of fictional language. Now I see a chair, now I see a guitar, now I hear after that you hear meow meow, after that you hear bah. You have never used the language. Say to yourself, now I hear cat voice, I hear goat voice. Now I hear guitar sound. No, not at all. You have never used the language. Say to yourself. Can you understand me? The story in this talk is suitable for only people who have the most freedom and want to attain Nirvana this life. Through Mindfulness, we study only the subject of the mind. We did not study about human existence. Please bear in mind.